Because it's not even like Spider-Man No Way Home didn't try to get a nomination. They did a full campaign to land one. With producer Amy Pascal telling The Hollywood Reporter, just because they're a certain kind of genre doesn't mean they're not quality movies. We all got in this business to make movies that people want to see, that make people feel things, and I think this movie legitimately does that. And you've got Marvel head Kevin Feige telling The Hollywood Reporter, it's a good thing when people are in a theater and they stand up and cheer. It's a good thing when people are wiping tears because they're thinking back on their last 20 years of moviegoing and what it has meant to them. That, to me, is a very good thing, the sort of thing the Academy was founded back in the day to recognize. But still, that doesn't change the situation. They did not land a nomination, except actually just for visual effects. And personally, I've got a foot in two different camps. One is, okay, I really don't care. Like, I can't remember the last time I watched or cared about the Oscars. But two, given the movies that we got in the past year, how the fuck is Spider-Man No Way Home not at least in the top 10? Why are y'all doing this to Zendaya's boyfriend? It just feels like more often than not, they penalize movies for being theatrically successful. But I also understand that's just my opinion, so what's yours? And then, y'all, Florida Man is at it again, and by Florida Man, I mean Governor Ron DeSantis, and by it, I mean making life harder for LGBTQ kids. How thoughtful of him to take a break from villainizing masks and go back to old school conservative values. So, what we're talking about is that the Florida Senate Education Committee just advanced legislation that critics have dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill, which would prevent school districts from, quote, encouraging discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity in primary grade levels or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students. But, oh my god, what a surprise, the text of the bill does not define what would be considered age appropriate or developmentally appropriate. And because we're talking about a state that is in part represented by Matt Gaetz, there are understandable concerns about leaving the definition of age appropriate open to interpretation. And while the lawmaker who proposed this measure has said that it would just keep the topics out of the curriculum, not classroom discussions, there's no mention of curriculum in the text. Also, other notable provisions in the legislation include allowing parents to sue schools if they think they're violating the law and if they don't inform parents about, quote, critical decisions affecting a student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being. But once again, not clearly defining or getting into specifics. And as one Democratic senator pointed out, critical decisions could be something as basic as a kid being served a vegetarian lunch without their parents okay. But still, despite the very obvious issues with this bill, it was advanced after DeSantis voiced his support for the move on Monday, saying schools need to be teaching kids to read, to write, they need to teach them science, history, we need more civics and understanding the US Constitution, what makes our country unique, all those basic stuff. Yeah, all those basic stuff, like figuring out how a fucking sentence works, Ron. But one of the main things here is that while conservatives have argued that this legislation is about parental rights, Democrats and advocacy groups have slammed it as clear discrimination against LGBTQ youth, with many noting that studies have shown that schools are a crucial support system for LGBTQ kids. Right, I mean, for example, there was a 2021 survey of more than 82,000 youth conducted by the Trevor Project, and they found that 30%, only 30% of kids said their home was LGBTQ affirming, while half said their school was. Which, quick side note, if you can't love your child and support your child just because they're LGBTQ, fuck you. What a useless, empty shell of a human being you are. I know they say you get more flies with honey and, you know, you want to try and like talk sense to people, but no. Like, there is the forward-thinking part of myself where I'm like, hey, I really hope that you can kind of deconstruct why you feel the way you feel. But then the other part of me kind of just wishes that a giant rock would fall on your head. Life's already hard as it is for most people, and you're just not gonna be there for your kid because it's something they can't control. Like, it used to be a thing where people would see someone that was like anti-gay and be like, I hope you have a gay kid. But no, it's just more trauma for kids that don't have a support system. You know, kind of taking the feelings and the thinking there. It's why you had people like Chasten Buttigieg, the husband of Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, tweeting last month that this bill will kill kids. Noting that another Trevor Project survey found that 42% of LGBTQ youth seriously considered attempting suicide last year. And those criticisms have only grown since the Don't Say Gay bill cleared the committee yesterday, with President Biden himself even chiming in to condemn the measure, saying to those who will be impacted by this hateful bill to know that you are loved and accepted just as you are. And adding, I have your back and my administration will continue to fight for the protections and safety you deserve. But still, that said, ultimately that is where we are with the story, and I mean, it's pretty much all but assured to pass. But ultimately that is where that story and today's show ends. As always, thank you for watching, hitting that subscribe button to join for these daily dives into the news. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Search complete. You have arrived at the mission area. Scanning battlefield. Femto-particle density is low. Short-range radar will not be effective. Begin the mission.
The path to victory is not unlike crossing.
Detecting a powerful femto response within the aircraft.
Hand is stuck.
It is a high-powered laser weapon. Take evasive action. It is a high-powered laser weapon. Take evasive action. Tactical container launch detected. Caution is advised. Detecting a powerful femto response within the aircraft. It is a high-powered laser weapon. Take evasive action. Tactical container launch detected. Caution is advised. Cumulative damage to the target has reached 50%. Detecting a powerful femto response within the aircraft. It is a high-powered laser weapon. Take evasive action. Enemy reinforcements detected.
How do you intend to survive this?
Detecting a powerful femto response within the aircraft. It is a high-powered laser weapon. Take evasive action. Tactical container launch detected. Caution is advised. Detecting a powerful femto response within the aircraft. It is a high-powered laser weapon. Take evasive action. Cumulative damage to the target has reached 75%. Tactical container launch detected. Caution is advised. Detecting a powerful femto response within the aircraft. It is a high-powered laser weapon. Take evasive action. Tactical container launch detected. Caution is advised. Detecting a powerful femto response within the aircraft. It is a high-powered laser weapon. Take evasive action. Fossil Immortal eliminated. Mission complete. Mission accomplishment recognized. Mapping return sequence.
That's one.
Mission briefing. Briefing will now commence. This is a private mission from Horizon, meant for you, and you alone. Your mission is to infiltrate an airbase in Sky Union's territory and commandeer their new arsenal model. Upon securing the arsenal, you will deliver it to a Horizon transport aircraft at a designated drop-off point. However, you cannot use an arsenal to infiltrate the airbase. You must covertly infiltrate the airbase on foot, board the new arsenal model, and pilot it to the waiting aircraft. While resistance from Sky Union is expected, the arsenal must be delivered with as little wear as possible. While the contents of this mission may arouse skepticism, this is a legitimate mission with Orbital's full authorization. A necessary measure to maintain the balance of resources and technology as each consortium operates in the Oval Link. As our ultimate goal is to control the Oval Link for the greater good of humanity, Orbital has decided that no single consortium can be allowed to monopolize its benefits. Think about this carefully. Whether you accept this mission or not is up to you. But Orbital believes you are the right person to carry out this difficult mission and ensure humanity's unity in the battles to come. Briefing over. Approach complete. You have arrived at the mission area. Scanning battlefield. No observable distribution of femtoparticles. Communications are offline. Generating facility map data. Pinpointing target coordinates. Begin the mission. Your target is the new Arsenal unit. It is believed to be heavily guarded. Make your way to the unit without being detected and board it. Caution is advised. Without an Arsenal, even a reclaimer of your caliber can be swiftly neutralized. Target located. Board the Arsenal immediately and activate it. Confirming hardware connection. Initiating Arsenal boot sequence. No errors found in sequence progression. Weapon safety mechanism released. All systems normal. Activating Arsenal. Pilot the Arsenal unit to the extraction point displayed on your console. I will remind you that the unit must be delivered with minimal damage. This is a requirement to complete this mission. Processing. Oh, the enemy security system is already alerted to our presence. An undercover Horizon transport is waiting at the extraction point. They will collect you along with the delivered unit. Are you lost? Navigation should not be this difficult for you. Review your console. See how simple it is? I apologize. I demonstrated a lack of consideration earlier. No. I have some bad news. The transport aircraft waiting at the extraction point has just been destroyed. Sky Union's commander must be very cunning to pin us down by cutting off our only means of escape. Perhaps this commander is an AI like myself. Attention. In light of the situation, this mission has been updated in accordance with protocol. Make full use of your current arsenal to escape the area and complete the mission. The previous mission up to this point has been expunged. Escaping the mission area via the transport is now impossible. To ensure your safety and fulfill your mission objective, I propose using this unit to flee Sky Union's territory. This passage is a linear line that is no longer in use. It extends to the eastern tip of Sky Union's territory. Not to sound like I'm gloating about the unit we stole, but it is equipped with state-of-the-art features. As long as you keep moving, Sky Union's pursuit forces should be unable to catch up. Processing. Disregard my earlier remark. Sky Union's forces detected on your radar. The safety on your firearms has been disengaged. Auto-assembly standing by. Attention. New unit detected on radar, approaching at greater speed than other pursuit units. Incoming transmission from the unit. The nature of this mission prohibits you from responding. Playing transmission.
Surrender, thief, and return that stolen unit. Don't make me chase you now. Just come quietly, and I'll abide by the treaty and spare your life. Huh. Must be hard of hearing. Fine. If you want to play, let's play. You know the rules, don't you? You die, you lose.
Attention. A new unit is approaching from behind. Be careful. The new unit's ID signal is...
Looks like you're struggling to catch this squirrel.
This thief is mine, Red Dog. Stay out of this.
Nah, I'd rather buddy. Klondike's release date is already 70 years ahead of mine. I gotta earn my keep so me and him can get out together.
What difference does it make when you'll be dead before your sentence is up? We will never regain our freedom. Do you understand?
Huh? Freedom? I don't care about that. I'm just trying to keep up with my brother. I ain't getting left behind again. You hear me?
Imbecile.
You hear that, thief? I ain't backing down one bit. You're gonna die for me and my brother. Ah!
Reached the 75% mark of the planned escape route. Current energy reserves are sufficient. Continue your escape.
Red Dog, get ready to slow down. If you speed out of this passage, they'll put a bounty on your head.
Screw that. My brother will be friggin' furious if I let this thief get away.
At this time, you have passed through 80% of the escape route. Processing. New units detected, approaching from directly ahead at high speeds. ID signals unknown. You risk being caught in a pincer attack. Situation has escalated. Recalculating for maximum odds of survival. No, there is no time.
Okay, I got you covered. Just keep moving. Don't stop.
I found this fascinating electronic weapon on the black market. Now seems like a good time to try it out. Let's see what it can do.
Proceed through the designated point. The enemy units will not pursue you. Leaving Sky Union's territory. Mission complete. Mission accomplishment recognized. Connecting line to Horizon's transport aircraft. Data link established. Mapping rendezvous sequence. Executing. Accomplishing this mission has maintained the balance of power within the OVA link. Excellent work. Mission briefing. Briefing will now commence. The objective of this mission is to guard a freight train transporting valuable cargo through Sky Union's territory. Once the mission begins, you must protect the train until it reaches its destination. Complete any necessary preparations, then stand by and await dispatch. Briefing over.
A freight train? So, not the linear line?
The bedrock in this area is too dense to run an underground line through it. Line construction has since stalled due to the depth of the ravine. Ground-level rail freight transport is the only option here.
So we got a freight hop? Lame. I was hoping for something with a little more kick, personally.
Considering the value of the cargo being transported, this mission should provide all the kick you desire.
Wait, the good kind of kick or the bad kind?
Enemy interference is expected.
Huh, so, the bad kind then. I don't know about this.
In that case, Innocence accepts this mission.
Mission accepted.
Huh? Crow's on?
The Western Seven accepts too. Really now? What are you crooks scheming this time? We've certainly had our run-ins before, but only because of our missions. Your mistrust seems peculiar, to say. Don't act like you're people. Scheming requires a lot. At any rate, where there's smoke.
What's that got to do with me?
Yeah. As mercenaries, I don't think we can. But I suppose we.
Yeah.
Gotta make every rookie. I too.
Approach complete. You have arrived at the mission area. Scanning battlefield. Femto-particle distribution is low. Radar will not be affected. Initiating each arsenal's data link. Opening squad communications channel. The train will arrive in 2 minutes. All units stand by.
I do hope.
Processing. Unknown units have appeared on the radar. Be careful.
4, just to be safe, stop the train. It's too dangerous to have it come this way.
To prevent outside intervention, the train is operating according to an automated sequence. I cannot stop it. Attention. 3 arsenals have entered the mission area.
This is being broadcast on the wide area channel. If you 3 are mercenaries, identify yourselves. We are currently carrying out a mission. Please leave at once. Otherwise, you will be considered an immortal, and we will bring you down.
Sorry, can't do that. We're in the middle of a mission.
Panzer Crown.
Nothing makes my blood boil like a little boy who thinks he can push me around.
Excuse me?
And our mission is to destroy it. If you get in our way, we'll kill you.
Well now, I guess my hunch was right after all. I'm gonna tell you right now, Innocence Boy. Don't waste your time verifying this mission's legitimacy with Orbital.
Why not? There's no reason for mercenaries to fight each other.
Calm down, Notes. This mission was obviously meant to.
Last time I was teamed up with the rookie, now we're fighting each other. Makes you wonder who's arranging.
What are you saying?
Wish I could say more.
You mean we have...
Why, indeed.
Notes.
Attention. The train has arrived. Begin the mission.
All right, let's get started. In an arsenal, I'm the strongest.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Defense systems have dropped to 75%. No problems detected in train operations. However, please try to avoid further damage.
Come on, come on, come on! Better protect that train, or I'm gonna end up taking you out! Ah!
Curiosity kills more than cats, you know.
Gotta be kidding me!
Do you believe in God?
Arsenal's busted. I'm pulling out.
This is promising.
Did you have to do that?
Got you. This is promising. Got you.
How far should I go?
Defense systems have dropped to 50%. Warning systems are active. Be careful. Further damage poses a significant risk.
This mission is a cinch. Ah, it's busted. I'm heading back.
You're boring me.
Don't worry, I've got your back. Almost there. It just needs to reach the valley.
The train has passed the designated point. Mission complete. Mission accomplishment recognized.
Our mission's not over yet!
Enough. Any hostilities outside the designated mission area will be seen as an attack on Sky Union and Orbital.
He's right, Queen. It's over. Let's get out of here.
I can't believe the three of us lost. God damn it!
Somehow we accomplished our mission. But could someone please tell me what's really going on?
You seem like a smart kiddo. Do your own digging if you really want to know.
Don't treat me like a child! Just give me a real explanation!
She's right. No matter what she says, it's just going to fall on deaf ears. We are in no position to trust her, and she knows that.
See? He gets it. Catch you later, kiddo.
Please wait! What the heck is happening in the Oval Link?
Definitely got more than I bargained for on this one. 4. Execute return sequence.
Affirmative. All units return. Mission briefing. Briefing will now commence. At this time, 3 unidentified arsenals have been detected in Sky Union's territory. Your objective is to confirm their identities. If the arsenals are deemed hostile, you are authorized to eliminate them. Complete any necessary preparations, then stand by and await dispatch. Briefing over.
You know, I heard about those Sky Union prototypes that got stolen. I want.
No known connection.
Innocence accepts this mission.
Hey, are you sure you want to accept this all willy-nilly? We don't even.
We're fighting ours. There's no way I'd ever lose a fight against.
Sure.
This war won't end until we've destroyed all.
You really think this?
Of course. And when it.
I didn't know you had a dream like that. I'd forgotten what it was like to have.
It's not a dream, it's a plan.
All right. Bulletworks will take this mission too. I'm not saying your story got to me or anything, Chill. I just, well, I remembered why I became a mercenary.
And why's that?
That can wait. I'll tell you someday, though. Once I feel like I'm good.
Well, I look forward to hearing it, so try not to die.
Well, this got dark all of a sudden. All right, I'm gonna start prepping my arsenal. Don't take too long, or the enemy's gonna bail on us.
See ya.
Approach complete. You have arrived at the mission area. Scanning battlefield. Femtoparticle levels are high. Radar will not be affected, but units with stealth capabilities will be difficult to identify. Initiating each arsenal's data link. Opening squad communications channel.
You see them? There should be 3 unidentified arsenals in the area.
Wait a minute. 4. Cross-reference the optical sensor imagery with Sky Union's stolen prototypes.
No match found.
Huh? What the? I think that arsenal belongs to the 5 Hells. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's Savior's arsenal.
The unit's stealth capabilities are preventing identification.
Yep, that gaudy rig is definitely his. 4, open a channel. Savior, what are you doing here? You and your crew are showing up on my console as unidentified units.
Johnny G of Bullet Works. You 3 are also displaying on my console as unidentified units. I'm curious to know why that is.
What the hell's going on? Is this another one of those Reclaimer conflicts BG mentioned?
You better explain what's going on. If you don't get out of Sky Union's territory, you're gonna be in big trouble, let me tell you.
Who are you? I don't know you. My lord brother, shall we start the mission?
Mission? What? You want to fight us for no good reason?
My reasons need only satisfy me. But if you wish to retreat, I will leave my sword sheathed. Be on your way.
Excuse me? We're not going anywhere. I don't care how tough you think you are. We've got a full 3-unit squad here. Clearly, we have the advantage. Go on, skedaddle on out of here. I promise we won't shoot you in the back.
Oh? I see some faint vestige of honor resides in you yet. While nobility dictates we cede the first move to you, we shall not disgrace ourselves by submitting to your request that we skedaddle.
Where'd that shot come from?
Pleased to make your acquaintance, young man. I am Knight, faithful butler to House Valentine.
A black arsenal? Johnny, are you okay?
I'm fine. Just a little ding. Wait, this guy's your freaking butler? Are you messing with me? This is a battlefield.
I'm well aware of our surroundings. As we now stand 3 versus 3, moderation is no longer required. Does this satisfy you, young master?
Quite.
If this is the same black arsenal that all those scary rumors are about, we might be in big trouble, actually.
Yeah, it's supposed to be crazy tough. Just be cool, Johnny boy. Stay focused. What would BG do in this situation?
The mission is still in effect. Eliminate the unidentified units at once.
Just tell me one thing, Savior. What are you fighting for?
I fight to fulfill my obligations as Patriarch of House Valentine. I don't expect you to understand.
No, I get it. Sort of.
What about you? Is it money? Fame, perhaps? I can't imagine you're willing to die for such things. Now stand down.
Don't be stupid. We've got reasons to stand our ground. Me? Now draw your sword, Savior. Start the mission already.
I too have my reasons for why I cannot leave. Abyss, Knight, assume your positions. Make ready to enforce justice. piece of stubborn resistance. You have nothing to lose by accepting defeat.
And you, Silver Spoon-fed jerk, got nothing to gain by coming out here! Get the hell out of our way!
Silence. Victory is the cornerstone of my entire existence.
Pests.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! No, no, no! This is bad! I can't fight like this! Sorry, but I gotta withdraw!
Ho ho! A splendid blow indeed. Forgive me, young master. I must retire from this fray. I wish you all the best of luck.
Feeling all right, Savior? You seem a little testier than usual.
Only because you are testing my patience, you ignorant fool. Should my path become strewn with blood, I must always seize victory. There is no other path before me.
just like to make music. I don't like to really sort of talk about it much.
When his problems call me, they know the way my heart.
Mother, she the body that I pray on. We summon spirits over here, it's not a seance. I found gratitude.
Just as the teach you how to get rich gurus were making a rise on YouTube, there was a niche full of fake gurus teaching you how to get a body and health like they had. An industry rife with fake natties, crappy protein powder plugs, Photoshop mistakes, and intermittent fasting worshipping also had something else. Fake gurus pushing custom workout plans.
We're going to move to our GMA cover story right now. The legal backlash against an Instagram fitness influencer accused of scamming clients across the country.
This Good Morning America segment took place on March 19, 2019, nearly 3 years ago, and uncovered an issue that the fitness niche had on YouTube, which was popular influencers giving out custom-made diet plans that were cookie-cutter templates.
Amy back with the details. And Amy, some of those clients looking to take some serious action.
That's right, George. Thousands are joining a Facebook group for people who say Brittany Dawn took their money for fitness plans and then never delivered, and now many of them are taking those complaints to the Texas Attorney General.
I had this topic on my radar for a couple of years.
Come on, how's this even happen?
Mission briefing. Briefing will now come. This mission is the enemy, though the complete any briefing.
years and never got around to making it. That worked out perfectly because this influencer is now officially getting sued. The state of Texas is suing Brittany Dawn and Brittany Dawn Fitness LLC, alleging she violated the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Consumer Protection Act. I was incredibly happy to see this lawsuit get filed because I think this is a step in the right direction to hopefully start to get these fake gurus shut down. Unfortunately, it took 3 years for an actual lawsuit to get filed, but I'm hoping more of these will follow and maybe, just maybe keep some fake gurus from conducting business out of fear of getting caught. In addition to non-monetary injunctive relief, the state seeks monetary relief, including civil penalties, attorney's fees, and costs of over $250,000, but not more than $1 million. Given her alleged scam, I think this is a fair punishment. We'll go over how much she probably made in a minute, but if she faces a judgment, she'll be financially in trouble.
Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to
She's the fitness influencer with almost 1 million followers, facing complaints from thousands of dissatisfied customers.
It might take a little while to get your form down.
This morning, new complaints being filed with the Texas Attorney General's office alleging that Brittany Davis, the face of Brittany Dawn Fitness, never delivered on personalized diet and fitness plans that in some cases cost close to $300 per person.
As the fitness niche exploded on YouTube back in 2014 and 2015, everyone with an objectively attractive physique immediately became an influencer, nutrition expert, workout regimen expert, and supplement expert. The worst one, though, was that they all became online personal trainers. Brittany had no professional training or licensing, she had no professional knowledge on personal training, and she ultimately was a fake guru, someone who thought she was a professional because she was skinny and got attention from her attractive appearance. Brittany is going to be the main target, and she's received years worth of humiliation and backlash, but really she was just one of many. This issue was so prevalent during those years when fitness YouTube was taking off, and everyone was becoming an expert trainer and weight loss coach.
Davis posting an apology on YouTube.
I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I've taken full responsibility for it. I made things right, and I did whatever it took to make things right.
What mistake did she actually make? Using the Wayback Machine, this was her website back in 2018. Individualized macros and training. This was the most common package consumers were buying from influencers. Macros, or macronutrients, is the breakdown of how many fats, carbs, and proteins you eat every day. Here were some of her programs. This was a pretty typical lineup of programs from influencers at the time. Some type of time range, 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, and some type of catchy name to get you to buy, such as the bridal package, which is hilarious to me, as if you train differently for a wedding. Beginning in 2014, defendants profited from the sale of online fitness packages to thousands of consumers with the promise of personalized nutritional guidance and individualized fitness coaching. Specifically, defendants' online fitness packages offered macronutritional assessments and, depending on the plan purchased, daily or weekly email training and one-on-one coaching. Arguably the biggest scam in the fitness space at that time was influencers claiming that you'll get personalized diet plans and workout routines. What happened was anyone with a cute face and a good physique could gain hundreds of thousands of followers. Unfortunately, that social proof and following led to them believing that they were an expert in fitness, health, and nutrition. That space was and still is full of fake gurus. Defendants' online nutrition and fitness packages range from $92 for a one-time macro consultation to $300 for 3 months of personalized macros, trainings, and coaching. However, the online nutrition and fitness plans delivered to consumers were not individualized. Defendants also failed to provide the promised coaching and check-ins. This is the heart of the lawsuit. Brittany was marketing her programs as personalized, which led to many people buying her products. They all found out pretty quickly that they weren't personalized.
And many customers still claiming they have not gotten full refunds. A Change.org petition titled Stop Brittany Dawn Fitness Scams signed over 11,000 times, asking Brittany Davis to make things right with her followers.
One problem was that Brittany was not giving out personalized diet and fitness plans. The other was that she wasn't even responding to client emails or performing any coaching, which was the expectation of many of the customers.
So she contacted Dawn on Instagram. She deleted the comments and blocked me immediately. And she then found out it was happening to others in a Facebook group formed by alleged victims. At the time I joined, it was about 200 people. I think it's up to 4,500. Dawn's Yelp page has a 1-star rating.
The root issue with all of these influencer-type scams is that they're fake gurus who made a lot of money quickly. She wasn't an expert at anything, which is why so many people were disappointed with the product. Fake gurus create bad products. Surprise, surprise.
Led to this.
I apologize to anyone who feels like they got scammed from me. I was not only a coach, but also the sole content creator, customer service, business owner, YouTuber, financial advisor, and everything else that comes with every business. I now realize that I should have had more help and that this is a lesson that I am having to now learn the hard way, and for that, I am sorry.
What was probably the worst YouTuber apology video she read from her phone. Like, come on, you just scammed your fans and the best you can do is make a YouTube video reading from your phone and fake crying?
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yeah.
You look familiar.
Yeah?
You look like you stole my daughter's money.
Attention. Are you kidding me?
I ain't kidding you. Yep, you took $200. Hey, this woman took $200 from my daughter.
This is YouTuber Cassidy Campbell confronting Britney at a fitness expo. This video was released on February 5, 2019. It's actually the spark that opened the whole operation to a larger audience and forced Britney to upload the fake apology video.
Say, why is she hiding back there if she can't handle it?
I'm gonna need you to step out of the booth.
All right, sir, because I'm about to call the police if I don't get my $200 back.
Defendants largely ignored consumer complaints, or if they did respond, offered only partial refunds. In 2019, consumers' complaints on social media garnered media attention, prompting defendant Davis to make a video apology posted to YouTube. Defendants promptly took the website down. This was taken from a video released by Swole Normus, who covered the scandal in real time back in February 2019. This is an email Britney sent after all the backlash. Instead of giving refunds like most of her customers were asking for, she then offered this. I would like to have the chance to make it up to you, and I'm offering my new revamped coaching to you. The problem with fake gurus is they don't realize that the issue isn't customer service or making things right by offering an extended coaching plan or whatever. The issue is that the product will never be good because they don't know what they're doing, and they have no professional experience, licensing, or qualifications. According to Ms. Davis, the macronutrients for each consumer were customized at the very beginning of the plan based on several factors, including the consumer's weight, height, goals, and activity level, and she adjusted the macronutrients throughout the plan as she determined necessary. Believe it or not, I was actually a NASM certified personal trainer back in 2016 because I love the YouTube fitness space. I even started this channel as a fitness channel. You'll see if you go back to my first videos. Once you go through professional training and have good mentors, you'll quickly realize how little most YouTube influencers know about fitness and nutrition. In addition to an initial assessment and continued refinement of macronutrients throughout the plan, as previously noted, an essential component of the goods and services offered by defendants was the personal fitness coaching. If Britney had any experience actually training people, she would have known that you can't offer personal coaching to thousands of people, especially for $1,000 or whatever. Her followers didn't know any better and unfortunately got scammed. Consumers who purchased the personalized online nutrition and fitness plans were given access to a Team Britney Dawn Facebook group, which served as a virtual community of consumers on the same fitness journey. It was through the Facebook group that consumers realized that defendants had given them the same individualized nutrition and fitness plans. One consumer commented that, I thought at first you had created this workout plan based on my needs and wants, until I referred two friends to you and their plans were the same. That's absolutely hilarious to me that they all received the same plans. The reason why I hope Britney loses this lawsuit and faces a big judgment is because she was allegedly doing this for years and silencing comments that were voicing complaints.
If you guys have been following me this year, you guys know that I ultimately went into a season of hiding when everything happened. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't handle it very well at all, actually. And
this video was released in November 2019, where Britney addresses some of the hate she was experiencing. She could have made it right by refunding all of her customers, but she chose option B, the much worse option. She allegedly sent her customers an NDA to sign stating that she'll refund 50% of their money if they sign the NDA. Fake gurus are bad because they create bad products that don't result in positive solutions. They also have an innate level of greed that forces them to focus on the dollar bill above customer satisfaction.
I've said it already, but you guys, I'm here to say it again. I messed up. I made a mistake. I am human, but I took the steps needed as a business owner and as an influencer to fix said mistake.
This video was released in March 2019 titled Calling Out the Hate, where she claims to have fixed the problem. The lawsuit filed this week shows that she didn't fully fix the problem. The reason why someone like Britney can't fully fix the problem is that refunding everyone that got scammed would mean returning money that's already been spent. A few months later, she released a video titled I Bought a House. Using Batch Lead software, I found her house was purchased for $437,600 in May 2020, only a couple months after the drama. Her loan is for $350,100, which represents 80% of the value of the property, meaning she put 20% cash down as her down payment. The property tax is $8,185. Gotta love Texas property taxes. They don't get you on state income tax, but they'll get you on those property taxes. Extrapolating out, assuming she doesn't have any other debt, she would need to show about $6,000 a month in income to qualify for that loan. Given that she is self-employed, she probably needed to show that amount of income for at least 2 years. To close, she needed around $95,000 in cash. That's a pretty good chunk of change for her age. I love talking personal finance and money, so that's why I bring this segment up. Her programs range from $92 to $300, so she had a lot of clients to be able to make that level of income consistently month after month and to save that much cash.
Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since I've recorded anything.
After she house. Using Batch Lead software, I found her house was purchased for $437,600 in May 2020, only a couple months after the drama. Her loan is for $350,100, which represents 80% of the value of the property, meaning she put 20% cash down as her down payment. The property tax is $8,185. Gotta love Texas property taxes. They don't get you on state income tax, but they'll get you on those property taxes. Extrapolating out, assuming she doesn't have any other debt, she would need to show about $6,000 a month in income to qualify for that loan. Given that she is self-employed, she probably needed to show that amount of income for at least 2 years. To close, she needed around $95,000 in cash. That's a pretty good chunk of change for her age. I love talking personal finance and money, so that's why I bring this segment up. Her programs range from $92 to $300, so she had a lot of clients to be able to make that level of income consistently month after month and to save that much cash.
Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since I've recorded anything.
After she bought her house, she transitioned out of the fitness and nutrition space into what she's doing today. Defendants charged consumers a shipping fee, even though the nutrition and fitness plans were emailed, incurring no mailing or shipping fees. That's the perfect summary of a scammy product. She should have just added a bogus convenience fee too. Since this incident happened years ago, I ask you to not go spam her inbox or message her with ugly comments. It's been brought to my attention that this happens and people include my name in it, so I ask you to please not message her. From all of the evidence found for this case, my guess is she's going to be left with a very big judgment or settlement, and capturing the money for the plaintiffs is going to be really challenging. Brittany has moved on to a new career, which I'm assuming doesn't pay enough to pay down a $250,000 to $1 million debt. I'm really happy to see this lawsuit get filed. I'm really hoping more follow suit so that the fake gurus on social media can stop scamming consumers with their bogus credentials and crappy products. Thanks for watching.
Mission briefing. Briefing will now commence. This mission is a request from Zen. The objective of this mission is to investigate lunar debris in the neutral zone. Proceed to the designated location on the radar to begin the search. Corrupted AIs have been detected in the area. While engaged in combat, take care not to destroy any Consortium facilities. Complete any necessary preparations, then stand by and await dispatch. Briefing over. Scanning battlefield. Femto-particle density is low. Short-range radar will not be affected. Displaying lunar debris on your radar. Confirm your objective and begin the investigation.
Eyes forward. Let's see what the enemy does. Up! Ah! Here! Here! You seriously need my help against this enemy?
Target collected. 5 targets remaining. Target collected. 4 targets remaining. Reinforcements detected. Caution is advised.
You seriously need my help against this enemy?
Target collected. 3 targets remaining.
Who's next? Here!
Target collected. 2 targets remaining. Target collected. 1 target remaining. All targets collected. Mission complete. Mission accomplishment recognized. Mapping return sequence. Enemy reinforcements detected. Caution is advised.
Even if they get reinforcements, our mission remains the same.
Mission briefing. Briefing will now commence. This mission is a request from Horizon. The objective of this mission is to infiltrate an AI production facility.
What's up, my comic
eliminate
comrades?
all
Today we
enemies
continue
within.
our series
Since you
on
cannot
characters
use your
appearing in
arsenal,
the
you will
Suicide Squad
infiltrate
movie
with
by breaking down the
complete and
history
necessary
of Peacemaker.
preparations.
The movie, of
Briefing
course,
over.
hasn't officially released yet, but based on everything we've seen so far of John Cena's live-action version of Peacemaker, he will likely be one of the breakout characters in the film. In fact, Warner Brothers and DC have already wrapped on the first season of a Peacemaker live-action TV series for HBO Max, also written and directed by James Gunn, with John Cena reprising the role. So clearly the studio thinks the character is going to be popular as well. I also love how much John Cena enjoys being Peacemaker and how they're using him to market the movie. Basically every time he does promotion for the Suicide Squad, he's in his Peacemaker costume. It's hilarious and brilliant. Anyway, today we're going to take a look through the pages of DC Comics to break down Peacemaker's history before we see what James Gunn and John Cena have done with him. And for those of you wondering, we will also be giving you Bloodsport's comic book origin on Friday to go along with the official US release of the movie. So make sure to keep an eye out for that one. But before we dive into Peacemaker's history, we want to thank Keeps for sponsoring today's episode. Well, if you watched our Nightwing episode last month, Tim has entered the variant tree of trust and admitted that he too is watching his hair dome go from thick to thin. But it's okay, buddy. As we know, 2 out of 3 guys experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. The good news is that Keeps makes it easy to do something about it early on and keep your glorious man fro in place. With Keeps, it's a simple 3-step process. Just go to keeps.com/variantcomics and start by setting up a time to talk with a licensed doctor online from wherever you are. The doc will then review your information and recommend the right hair loss treatment plan for you. After that, you also get to skip the lines at the pharmacy because your treatment will be delivered right to your front door every 3 months. And because Keeps offers generic versions of the FDA-approved medications for hair loss, you're also going to save some cash in the process. On top of that, you'll also get 50% off your first order by using our link in the description. Anyway, once you get your prescription in hand, all you have to do is follow your prescribed plan and start tracking your progress. But again, the important thing is to remember that Keeps treatments typically take between 4 to 6 months to see results. So you want to jump on as soon as possible. The sooner you start using Keeps, the more hair you're going to save. Keeps also supports your march towards a hairier future throughout your journey with 24/7 access to your Keeps doctor who can answer any questions you might have. And that is just one of the reasons Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors, and why hundreds of thousands of men already trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention. So will Tim join me and Charles Xavier's hairless League of Legends, or will he hold on to his locks by heading over to keeps.com/variantcomics? Stay tuned. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's already started his Keeps treatment, so the answer is really yes, but that's kind of boring, so. The point is, if you want to hold on to your mane, just click the link in the description to get 50% off your first order of hair loss treatment. Again, that's keeps.com/variantcomics. But with that covered, let's talk some Peacemaker. Peacemaker first appeared in Fighting 5 issue 40 in November of 1966. He was created by Joe Gill and Pat Boyette. What's crazy about Peacemaker is he wasn't originally a DC character. He originally belonged to Charlton Comics, first appearing as a backup story in Fighting 5 issue 40, as I just mentioned. The backup story became so popular he was then given his own comic series, which lasted 5 issues. Peacemaker almost instantly became one of Charlton Comics' biggest superheroes. But like lots of comic book fans know, Charlton Comics wouldn't last long, and many of their characters were bought up by DC Comics, including the Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, Question, and of course, Peacemaker. Now being owned by DC Comics, DC would introduce Peacemaker through their story Crisis on Infinite Earths, making his DC Comics debut in Crisis on Infinite Earths issue 6 in 1985. As I'm sure many of you are aware, that Crisis on Infinite Earths was this massive event that destroyed DC's multiverse, resetting and revamping continuity for DC. One of the new changes was the addition of Charlton characters that were revealed to have existed on Earth 4. Charlton characters, including Peacemaker, were then given slightly different new origins. And speaking of origins, it's time to talk about Peacemakers.
Mission complete.
Let's start with Peacemaker's
Mission
original
accomplishment
Charlton Comics
recognized.
origin, and then we'll talk about his
Mapping
modern
return
origin from
sequence.
DC Comics. Peacemaker's real name is Christopher Smith. He grew up an only child, and his father was an army officer and his mother was a research scientist. Because of this, he inherited traits from both of his parents, getting his fighter pilot skills from his dad and his interest in science from his mother. When Smith was an adult, he became a pacifist diplomat who worked as a U.S. peace envoy for the Geneva Arms Conference. In Fighting 5 issue 40, we learned that Chris was trying to stop the international madman and terrorist named Bork, who was rumored to illegally be selling weapons to other nations to instigate border wars in South America. After having a polite conversation with Bork at a dinner party, Chris realizes that diplomacy will not stop him. Smith then tells his secretary, Bork will use assassins, saboteurs, bribery, and other methods to achieve his ends. I only have adequate diplomatic and legal machinery to stop him. Later on that night at Christopher Smith's private retreat high in the Swiss Alps, as the comic says, Chris tells himself, Bork is unscrupulous. I have used every means at my disposal to foil his plans. I detest violence, but because of my inadequacy, thousands of innocent people may die. I must do what I have sworn never to do. There is no other way. As Chris heads into the great cellars, there is a thick steel door. No man except Christopher Smith has ever been in the room beyond it. Inside it, we see an arsenal of the most potent weapons ever devised by man. He has designed all of them, but as a man dedicated to peace and non-violence, Christopher Smith has sworn never to use any of them. Let's pause right there for a second because Chris hates violence, yet he designed some of the deadliest weapons on Earth. Just kinda weird, but hey, comic books. Anyway, Chris goes on to say while picking up a gun, if Bork is permitted to continue, he will involve half the world in his senseless wars. He must be stopped. I cannot succeed with peaceful methods. I've resisted taking the step, but in this case, violence must be met with violence. Although violence is against everything I stand for, there is no other solution. And he says this as he changes into his Peacemaker costume. As we see him put on the costume, a caption in the comic says, and so, although Christopher Smith has sworn never to use these implements of violence, he reluctantly assumes the role of the Peacemaker. A role he resolves he will only take when there is no other recourse, when violence can only be stopped by violent action. And just like that, now as Peacemaker uses violence and brute force to stop Bork once and for all. Now that's Charlton Comics' origin for Peacemaker, but now let's see how DC tweaked his origin. Peacemaker was introduced into the DC universe during Crisis on Infinite Earths. He was given a new origin and name. Well, new last name as he was now Christopher Smith. He was the only child of Wolfgang Schmidt and Elizabeth Lewis. His father was a munitions manufacturer and his mother was a children's author. However, there was one big twist in DC's origin of Peacemaker. Chris's dad was revealed to be a Nazi officer in the Nazi elite SS Corps, who was responsible for the deaths of 50,000 innocent people. Knowing Wolfgang was going to be caught and arrested, he killed himself in front of Chris on his 5th birthday. Yeah, not traumatizing at all. After this, his mother Elizabeth quickly relocated both of them and legally changed their last name to Smith so no one would associate them with Wolfgang, giving us his original Charlton Comics name, Christopher Smith. When Chris turned 18, he entered the military, which seemed good for him. Christopher soon became one of the military's best soldiers. Chris soon led a scouting mission to a small village that was expected of harboring enemy troops. Once there, Chris decided it would be a great idea to start opening fire upon the entire village, killing innocent women and children. Because of this, he was court-martialed and sentenced to life in prison. While in prison, Chris was offered a pardon if he joined Project Peacemaker, which was a top-secret, high-tech, independent anti-terrorist squad. Of course, he took it, but several months in, the program was shut down. Christopher was then able to walk off the base without being caught. About a year later, Chris decided to do what the Peacemaker program taught him to do, and that's fight off terrorism. So he took the Peacemaker name for himself and became the costume vigilante Peacemaker. As the vigilante Peacemaker, Chris became more and more violent. He then started hearing the voice of his dead father Wolfgang and started to believe that the souls of the people that died due to terrorism lived in his helmet and were pushing him towards more violence and retribution. Basically, Chris loved peace so much he was willing to kill for it by any and all means necessary. But even more recently for Peacemaker, in the current Suicide Squad title, which is only 5 issues in at the time of shooting this video, it appears DC has gone back to Peacemaker's original Charlton Comics origin. In 2021 Suicide Squad title, issue 2 to be exact, we see Peacemaker briefly recount his origin on the first 2 pages. Peacemaker tells us as follows: Arkham Asylum, mission report, current status, Fubar. My name is Christopher Smith. I used to be a diplomat. I came to DC in pursuit of one thing and only one thing: peace. And when I couldn't find it, my new life began. Peacemaker isn't just a name, it's my mission. Whatever it takes, whatever the cost. Waller threw me into her hellhole prison on some trumped up charges, made me the leader of the Suicide Squad. I'm grateful she has the same mission as mine. As I said earlier, judging by Chris's own recap of his origin, it seems very apparent that DC has gone back to the original Charlton Comics origin for the character. We even see a picture of him in his suit on the first page, looking very reminiscent of how he looked in the Fighting 5 issue when he first was introduced, standing in front of the Capitol building. But just like that, my comic comrades, you now know Peacemaker's origin and how it's evolved over the years. So now let's move on to story arcs and publication history. Peacemaker doesn't really have that many stories in comics. He has his original 5-issue series from Charlton Comics, which essentially just follows him around the world taking down terrorists. And he uses as much violence needed to keep the peace. It's probably the most important series for the character, as it established all the core aspects of Peacemaker we know today. Then years later, Peacemaker would be acquired by DC, as I mentioned earlier, and introduced via the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline. Although this introduced him to the DC universe, he didn't play a big role in the series at all, but we do see him fighting the Anti-Monitor Shadow Demons. We would then get a 4-issue Peacemaker series in 1987, and in it, Peacemaker tracks down terrorists to their latest target, an airport in France. But like in all Peacemaker comics, his obsession with keeping the peace by any means necessary keeps growing and growing to the point where Chris's family begins to worry that the mission may cost him his sanity. This ultimately causes him to come into a confrontation with the villain, Dr. Zinzin. And while he's fighting the villain and his men, he's also fighting the ghost of his father, which still haunts him every single moment. Like he literally sees him as a ghost constantly haunting him throughout this series. Then of course by the 4th and final issue, Peacemaker stops Dr. Zinzin from starting a global war while simultaneously overcoming his own demons, like his ghost father. Peacemaker would appear in other series and events here and there throughout his history, but let's skip to his most modern interpretation in 2021's Suicide Squad title. In this series, Amanda Waller has made him the leader of the Suicide Squad, where him and the rest of the squad are tasked to capture the Talon and bring him to Amanda Waller. We actually covered the first 2 issues of the Suicide Squad series, so if you want to check that out, you can do so right here. The 2021 Suicide Squad title also gives us the updated origin of Bloodsport, but like I said earlier, we'll be talking about that on Friday. Right now, it's time to take a look at Peacemaker's powers and abilities. Peacemaker is just a normal human, so he doesn't have any powers like super strength, speed, flight, or any of that stuff. But nonetheless, he does possess the physical strength and stamina of someone who does extreme physical exercise. So John Cena was perfect casting. He's also a master of various forms of hand-to-hand combat and a very skilled gymnast. Being a highly decorated soldier, he's also an expert marksman, great pilot, and proficient in most weaponry. As for equipment, which helps him out when he's doing his vigilante thing, his costume is made of a thin body armor developed by himself. His helmet, which looks hilarious looking like a silver toilet bowl, is actually high-tech. In the comics, it's heat and pressure-proof and contains sophisticated cybernetic circuitry that allows him to operate various devices, like an all-band radio, ultrasonic blaster, surveillance devices, and even a laser. His right glove even has a tiny vial in it that when it's crushed, it becomes a fireball. Peacemaker also has a jetpack, which he uses quite often in the comics and was introduced to us in his first appearance at Charlton. As for his favorite weapon, that would be guns, any and all guns, and he carries his favorite one on his right side. But now that you have an overview of Peacemaker's powers and abilities, let's take a look at some reading recommendations. Check out Fighting 5 issue 40, Peacemaker's first appearance, Peacemaker's 5-issue Charlton Comics series, his 1987 4-issue series, and the newest series Peacemaker is in, the 2021 Suicide Squad title. That should be enough to get you all started. First up for the week of the 4th, we have Justice League issue 66. United Order Part 3. The Hall of Justice has been invaded by a cosmic threat, and it will take the full force of the United Planets, led by Superman, to defeat it without destroying Earth in the process. Now we have Avengers issue 47. World War She-Hulk rages on. The Red Room is the secret furnace where some of the world's greatest assassins and super killers have been forged. And now She-Hulk is its newest recruit. Here we have Batman issue 111. Mayor Nakano announces a crackdown on mass vigilantes just as the magistrate moves against the Insanity Collective. Meanwhile, Batman attempts to avert a bloodbath while the Scarecrow makes his final move, Fear State. It's about to begin. And finally, we have Suicide Squad Issue 6. Bloodsport's first mission with the squad goes pear-shaped as the crime syndicate captures Amanda Waller's agent on Earth 3. By sending in a team to bring Bloodsport home, Waller may also be able to extract another Suicide Squad member for her new team, if she plays her cards right and doesn't care who she loses in the process. And that's going to bring today's episode of Variant to a close, but if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to check out this one right here, and if you like all of our content, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. It helps the channel grow. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.
Another easy kill.
Target collected. 4 targets remaining.
Another easy kill.
Target collected. 3 targets remaining. Target collected. 2 targets remaining. Target collected. 1 target remaining.
Big bad gargantuan coming through!
My arsenal is my friend. I'm a killer. So what? Another easy kill.
All targets collected. Mission complete. Mission accomplishment recognized. Mapping return sequence.
Bring back Gargantua coming through!
Developers can't do everything. They often come up with a lot of ideas for games that either there's no time to get it done or they're just simply not feasible. And some of that stuff is incredibly cool. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, 10 of the most amazing features cut out of our favorite games. Starting off at number 10, a summonable door to your own base in Dishonored. Now, Dishonored has so much going for it. There's so many different special powers in the game that are really detailed or capable of a lot and really let you sort of sandbox your way through the various levels. So it's kind of hard to imagine that they would have done more for it, and it's even harder to imagine them doing all of the work to make something and then not using it. This is exactly what they did with a special power that allowed Corvo to summon a door anywhere in the game. Now, the door, you'd plop it into the world, and you could go through it and go back to Corvo's base. So you could restock on items, refill your health.
This mission is a request from Zen.
Or whatever. I mean, it's a great idea. But at the same time, it wasn't really that necessary because there was already a living space in the boat. And the decision that the developers ultimately made was that while it was cool, it wasn't necessary.
Defend the communications
so it had
tower
to go.
while the facility converts
And
its
number 9 is
any necessary briefing.
Metal Gear Solid 5 with Phantom Pain. Now, the Phantom Pain is kind of an unfinished product. There was obviously a very troubled production at Konami. The relationship between Hideo Kojima and the company had deteriorated, and it's actually kind of a miracle the game is actually that good. But along with the unfinished ending, there are a couple of really big omissions that the player's gonna instantly
Femtoparticle density is low.
missing buddy.
Short-range radar will not be
was all
effective.
about developing
Enemy AIs
battle
detected.
gear, a
Eliminate them
tank-like
at once
battle
and
gear,
defend the
which
tower.
you're able to actually see
Our prediction?
cutscenes, but you're not able to really use. You can send it out on away missions, which are kind of battle simulations that play out in menus. So it's not really the coolest use of a metal tank.
Who's next?
And originally, it was going to be something that you control in the same way you control it. But it was cut really late.
Get on my
Quite ready. Which sucks because imagine controlling a huge Metal Gear out in the Afghanistan desert. The other buddy is Chico, who is a really cool looking sort of assassin that you really probably would have had a fun time with because he had knives stashed all over his costume.
Who's next?
That was not good. And number 8 is Plague.
Enemy reinforcements detected.
Now, Village ended up being a much bigger game than Resident Evil 7, and the developers at Capcom went a little crazy with all the ideas. So at one point, Ada Wong was going to play a major story, and that was because
Get on my
remake. And here in Village, we're in kind of a Disney Plague Doctor disguise, still using her signature bow gun. Concept art shows Ada appearing to rescue Ethan from the wards of the village, which goes down really quickly than that in the final game.
Enemy
And
reinforcements
it
detected.
makes sense why Chris Redfield kind of already knows that role, and that connects us to the main cast of the series. So adding Ada might feel a little strange out of the That's not to say it's impossible Ada will never appear in the so that might be literally the case. 7 is going to the moon in Dragon's Den. Like, this goes back to the earliest design document. Yeah, which obviously is a fairly action fantasy RPG. And the world was going to be much bigger. It was actually so big that... Who's next? You'd actually for it to go to the moon. Picture in the design document. Like next! Great Citadel, Goblin Enclave, Catacombs, and then off to the side there's a picture of the moon, and it just has an arrow pointing at it and says, moon. It's silly, but it would have been really cool. Now, hopefully, someday there's a Dragon's Dogma 2, and maybe, just maybe, we can go to the moon in that. And number 6 was Arthur Morgan in New Austin in Red Dead Redemption 2. An entire section of RDR2 and its scrap took place in a very familiar location. This was something that was found in the files post-release, and they actually found sound files for New Austin quests that had Arthur Morgan in them.
I like to keep a low profile.
So we all know that's impossible. There are quests available in New Austin, which unlocks after you complete the main story, but Arthur Morgan could
Mission
never go there.
complete.
Like, was he
Mission
originally
accomplishment
allowed to
recognized.
explore the entire map before
Mapping
the end?
return
Maybe they
sequence.
considered keeping him alive? I don't know. Or maybe they voiced these few quest lines to keep rumor mongers off Rockstar's back before the big twist at the end. Whatever the case, who wouldn't like taking a stroll through the Old West with their pal Arthur? At number 5, way back when Perfect Dark was created, there was a plan to make it so you could actually a tank like the kind of a miracle the game is actually that good. But along with the unfinished ending, there are a couple of really big omissions that any player is going to instantly recognize. They're both missing buttons. Part of the game was all about developing the battle gear, a tank-like metal gear, which you're able to actually see in a cutscene, but you're not able to really use. You can send it out on away missions, which are kind of battle simulations that play out in menus. So it's not really the coolest use of a Metal Gear, basically. And originally, it was going to be something that you controlled in the same way you controlled the Walker Gear. But it was cut really late in development because it just wasn't quite where it needed to be. Which sucks because imagine controlling a huge Metal Gear out in the Afghanistan desert. The other buddy is Chico, who was a really cool looking sort of assassin that you really probably would have had a fun time with because he had knives stashed all over his costume. Alas, that was not meant to be. At number 8 is Plague Ada Wong in Resident Evil Village. Now, Village ended up being a much bigger game than Resident Evil 7, and the developers at Capcom went a little crazy with all the ideas. So at one point, Ada Wong was going to play a major part in the story, and that would have been cool because we had just seen her in the Resident Evil 2 remake, and here in Village, she was going to appear in kind of a spooky Plague Doctor disguise, still using her signature bow gun to help Ethan along. Early concept art shows Ada appearing to rescue Ethan from the lords of the village, which goes down really, really differently than that in the final game. And ultimately, it makes sense why Ada was cut, because Chris Redfield kind of already fills that role, and that connects us to the main cast of the series, so adding Ada might feel a little strange without Leon Kennedy. That's not to say it's impossible Ada will never appear in any DLC, though, so that might be worth holding on hope for. And number 7 is going to the moon in Dragon's Dogma. Like, this goes back to the earliest design documents for the game, which obviously is a fairly unusual spin on the action fantasy RPG genre. And the world was going to be much bigger. It was actually so big that a single planet wasn't enough. You'd actually be able to go to the moon. The picture in the design document is actually kind of hilarious because you have this big map with all of these, like, it says Great Citadel, Goblin Enclave, Catacombs, and then off to the side there's a picture of the moon and it just has an arrow pointing at it that says moon. It's silly, but it would have been really cool. Now, hopefully someday there's a Dragon's Dogma 2 and maybe, just maybe, we can go to the moon in that. And number 6 was Arthur Morgan in New Austin in Red Dead Redemption 2. An entire section of RDR2 was planned and scrapped and took place in a very familiar location. This was something that was found in the files post-release, and they actually found sound files for New Austin quests that had Arthur Morgan in them.
I like to keep a low profile.
So we all know that's impossible, right? There are quests available in the New Austin area, which unlocks after you've completed the main story, but Arthur Morgan could never go there. Like, was he originally allowed to explore the entire map before the end? Maybe they considered keeping him alive? I don't know. Or maybe they voiced these few quest lines to keep rumor mongers off Rockstar's back before the big twist at the end. Whatever the case, who wouldn't like taking a stroll through the Old West with their pal Arthur? At number 5, way back when Perfect Dark was created, there was a plan to make it so you could actually put your own face in the game. Now, Perfect Dark and GoldenEye 64 and all those games were created in an era where there were a lot of really goofy sort of bonuses / cheats like Big Head mode in almost every game. Rare was particularly notorious for throwing in these silly bonuses / cheats that messed with character proportions. But originally there was going to be an even more in-depth and in its own way totally weird addition to Perfect Dark called Perfect Head Mode, which sounds questionable, but it was really just allowing you to put your face into the game using the Game Boy camera, and then it would map it onto a character in the game. And the reason this was so silly is because bad guys in this game generally looked kind of silly. They weren't particularly high polygon models or anything, and sometimes had a really uncanny look to them. And I don't really know why they didn't do this, because it's right up Rare's alley. But if they had, I have to imagine that they would not have used the name Perfect Head Mode. At number 4, Alan Wake was originally supposed to be an open world game. Like, it's a really, really good horror action game from Remedy with a rich story and, more interestingly, the beginning of a shared universe that Remedy is still developing currently. But it wasn't meant to be a linear shooter. It was meant to be, well, an open world game. What you're looking at right now, too, is an early beta where you'd have the entire town to explore. It had day and night cycles, and obviously, it being a horror game, night would have been much more difficult to deal with. There was also going to be the ability to drive everywhere, and basically you'd have to go around investigating the strange disturbances rather than, just following through levels in a linear fashion. And the idea of an open world horror game is actually pretty cool. The closest thing I think we've ever really seen to that is Deadly Premonition. Now, that being said, the Alan Wake that they ended up actually creating is a fantastic game, and it's very possible that they cut this idea for a reason, whether it be budget or whether they just thought the game would be better served as a linear shooter. Obviously, we talk about how great Alan Wake was on a fairly regular basis, especially when we start talking about new games from Remedy that are connected to it, which has me wondering a lot about what we're going to see in Alan Wake 2. At number 3, The Lake of Mud in Bloodborne, a piece of cut content in a game that has lots of cut content. What's interesting, though, about Bloodborne is that you can actually find the cut content in the game using the Chalice Dungeons feature. For instance, like creatures that they didn't actually include in the game but were finished, like the mole, can be found if you're lucky or know what seed to use. Interestingly enough, in all of the picking apart of Bloodborne, it was found that there's an entire area that was cut, including a final boss. The Lake of Mud is this incredible discovery because the boss monster is fully modeled with animations, and the area just sort of resembles a drained, muddy beach. Obviously, a boss arena. And the boss itself is kind of a twisted version of the normal final boss, the Moon Presence. This version of it drags itself on the ground kind of pathetically, while in the actual game, the Moon Presence is a really aggressive and terrifying opponent. The Lake of Mud wasn't completely scrapped. In the Old Hunters DLC, you visit a similar beach in the fishing hamlet, which is where the entire curse began. And number 2 is the British campaign in Call of Duty World at War. So, Call of Duty does World War II pretty good, so the prospect of more adventures in that time era in World at War is tantalizing. This is the game that really put Treyarch on the COD radar, and they gave you 2 campaigns. They split the story between the Pacific Islands as the Americans and the Chile Ruins as the Russians. There was, however, a 3rd campaign planned that got pretty far along in development. There were 3 British missions set in Holland, most likely during the failed Operation Market Garden, where British and American paratroopers dropped into Holland in an attempt to catch the Germans by surprise. Much like the famed and failed mission by the Allies, the Holland missions just didn't succeed. The most we have really is remnants of their design in screenshots. And finally, at number 1, the ability to control a scarab in Halo Reach. Probably the one that we would have liked to have not been cut more than anything else. Halo Reach was the big finale to Bungie's time with the series, and it was a pretty high note, after which they were leaving to make Destiny and blaze a trail in the live service arena. Halo Reach had a planned mission where your character got to actually personally control a scarab, one of the big destructive walkers that the Covenant army used. It actually made it pretty far into the game too, because modders were actually able to implement and use the drivable scarab on PC, but you need a really big level to use it in because, well, A, it's big, and B, it's not particularly wieldy. It's really cool and a scarab-sized huge shame that it didn't make it into the game. That's all for today. Leave us a comment, let us know what you think if you like this video.
Why'd he block it? He blocked! I didn't miss!
Why you block? I'm not blocking.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? Today we are back with a pretty good video. You know, today we are going to be trying biking out, but not only are we going to be trying biking out, we are going to actually be trying out the new combo trial mode, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to be trying it out with biking. This is going to be my first time literally touching the character, so I'm going to be learning these new combos that maybe some of you actually created, since these combos are created by real people when they find them, if they want to upload them to the game. So yeah, without further ado, I need you to go like, comment, subscribe, and turn the post notification bell on, and let's try these trials. Alright, so this combo is made by Karzam. This is our first combo we're going to be doing. So it's a counter hit. So do it just give me the combo at everything on his screen? I don't really know. Alright, so it's... No? Oh, so is it... Oh, I'm bugging. I'm doing... Bruh. Alright. So this combo is like a
that you had you
Bruh. Okay, we're gonna get this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bruh, I can't get the timer for that move. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. How do you watch this sample? Let me see. Hold on, D. What did he do in the air? Did he dash? Okay, I understand now. Alright. Oopsie. I'm hitting the wrong button, bro. I keep hitting the wrong button, bro. Okay. I think I understand, kind of. We about to get this. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. We had it. Oh my god. Alright, we got this. So that mean I complete, or I gotta do it like this? Is this when you complete it? Alright, let's complete this. Free. A